Hello friends, welcome to day 15 of my time. We have successfully completed 14 days. We are into our third week. This 33-day program is presented by both IFSS and PSSM Global. Today we'll start our session with a research bite that will be presented to us by the trustee of IFSS, Sunil sir. Welcome, Sunil sir.
Hi, Sandeep. Good morning.
Morning, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Great. Thank you so much, Sandeep. Very good morning and good evening, friends who have joined from different corners of the globe. It's so fascinating, going through the research works that is being done from various scholars from different parts of the globe. So today I want to share something very interesting which got my attention. So the research topic is mind that trap. Mindfulness practice reduces cognitive rigidity. That's the research done. So this study was done by a group of researchers from Department of Psychology, Ben Gurion University in the Negev of Israel. So let us first understand what this cognitive rigidity is all about. So cognitive rigidity is nothing but defined as resistance to belief system, changing our belief, or resistance to our attitude or behaviors. And usually these rigidity results in overlooking very simple and efficient solutions. We unnecessarily resort to the same old patterns and baggage that we have been looking at things in very, very complex manner. We've been carrying these old baggages. That's the primary reason. And we also that this happens because we are mostly blinded with past experiences. So this gets so much clouded in our mind that we become so rigid to choose different alternative courses of action, despite you have very better solutions or simpler solutions at hand. We still resort to the complex behaviors because of these past experiences. Including, even in the corporates, the managers and decision makers or entrepreneurs and organizations also often experience this trouble to replace their existing procedures or thought patterns with something more adaptive. So this study suggested that mindfulness training and meditation may be very, very useful to overcome such similar traits. So what they did is they gathered a group of participants for doing this research. They gave tasks and they did two experiments. In the first experiment, experienced mindfulness meditators were found to be very less rigid in their thinking compared to the new meditators. Now, in the second experiment, what they did is, out of those non-meditators group, they divided that into further two small subgroups. One subgroup was given about 8 weeks of meditation, 8 sessions of meditation sessions. And the other group was like a control group in the sense they are non-meditators. So they were given these tasks and multiple tasks, and researchers were actually measuring their approach towards their openness and problem-solving abilities. So what they generally found was mindfulness meditation, in fact, has lowered this rigidity, the cognitive rigidity. They have become more flexible and open. And there is a tremendous decrease in the tendency of getting blinded by the past experiences. So the research also went on to claim that they can also offer non-pharmacological approach to enhancing their cognitive flexibility. And it can also potentially benefit patients with various, depressions, OCDs, ADHD, and so on. So these effects were observed both in long-term meditators and short-term meditators, because of the split group that they observed while experimenting. So overall, what we can infer is this research is quite evidently teaching us that if we keep practicing meditation, it will definitely help us to be more flexible from within. Definitely, it will help us to be more open. Many a times we notice this. So we have a resistance to change, and that change should come from within. There's a saying, you can only take the horse to you cannot take the horse to pond to drink water. If it's thirsty, it will. So that rigidity has to, there are a lot of rigidity that we have. So if we be open and practice meditation, it's going to be really helpful. So that's a short and sweet research bite I want to share today. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sandeep.
Thanks, Sunil, sir. That's really motivating. We keep hearing that as we are growing old, people become more and more rigid, right? I think that's one way to overcome our rigidity and be flexible. That's good and motivating, and that's a good leeway to start our meditation for today too. Today's meditation will be conducted by Suresh sir. Suresh sir is a senior meditator. You would have seen him talking in our sessions previously too. Welcome, Suresh sir.
Hi, good morning. Namaskar. Is my
Namaskar,
voice-
sir. Yes, sir, your voice is audible. I'll give a brief intro about you before you start the meditation.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Suresh Kalaburgi, sir, is a trainer of body, mind, soul concepts and meditation. He has co-founded a successful startup in 1993 and has grown the entity since then. He had leadership roles at Rejuvenate India and is currently serving as CEO and Director of CTDI India Private Limited, a subsidiary of CTDI USA. In 1996, Suresh sir began his spiritual journey with a course in SSY, which is also known as Siddha Samadhi Yoga. Since then, he has completed many self-learning courses on mind control, healing, including Silva mind control, quantum jumping, remote viewing, and Reiki second degree. Sir believes that meditation is a foundation for all mind control and healing techniques. After getting introduced to Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement, PSSM, and Anapanasati meditation in 2009, Sir has conducted many free meditation sessions at corporate offices and educational institutions. He has been doing volunteering services to PSSM and Pyramid Valley International since more than a decade. He's also leading as a co-mentor for the popular 7-day stillness retreat in Kannada language at Pyramid Valley International. Sir's vision for life is to induce meditation to each and every person wherever he moves around the world, and create a wave of consciousness, which in turn helps every being to be mindful, tread the path of self-realization, be naturally happy, healthy, and loving. Suresh sir is also a director of PMC Kannada and a trustee with IFSS. With that intro, I hand it over to Suresh sir to conduct today's meditation. Welcome again, sir.
Thank you, Sandeepji, and a very elaborate introduction. And what a wonderful way to start with the research bites from Sunil. Friends, I welcome you all again for a wonderful series of My Time, the 33-day series, and hope you all are upgrading yourself in all dimensions of yourself, right? Be it wisdom, be it awareness about yourself, be it awareness of greater masters and higher possibilities, right? So this is the time where it's exclusively for yourself or exclusively for myself to take the adventurous route of spiritual exploration. So thank you all, friends. So let's get into meditation quickly and enjoy the bliss right away. As usual, friends, I will be guiding you through this meditation session today, and along with the group here and who are present online, watching on the YouTube as well as on the Zooms sessions. I welcome you all and namaskar. Friends, let us all first forget who we are and be still. Let us all forget who we are. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Just be still first. Consciously withdraw yourself from all the action of thinking, action of controlling your body, action of controlling your thought. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. We are all losing our identity. As and when you feel like closing your eyes, you may close your eyes gently. You may also want to cross your fingers and your legs. As we stop controlling and becoming an observer, becoming a witness, the body relaxes by itself completely. The mind relaxes by itself completely. As there is nothing to do, nowhere to go. Lose the awareness of time. There's nothing called as time. Dissolving yourself only in what you are right now. That is the present tense. There's no past, there's no future. Whatever is happening is what you are experiencing now. The one support stick you have with you is your best friend and the best guru. That is your breath. Breath is happening on its own. The only support stick, the bridge and connectivity from the time we are born till the time we are in this physical body is our breath. It is a bridge and a key to our cosmic self, to our universal self. Breath is the bridge to help us, help me as a drop of water to jump into the ocean and losing the identity. The ocean of cosmic realization, the ocean of cosmic wisdom, the ocean of oneness. breath is the bridge to walk into the ocean and dissolve, losing the identity. Forget your body, forget your mind. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. The only awareness is a breath. The only awareness is a breath. The only awareness is the breath. Our friends will play some soft music for us while we meditate. Meditation with music is very blissful, very calm and soothing. Meditation group expands our awareness. Meditation in group is more grander. We are all in group meditation with our breath, with a vibrational music. There's nothing to follow. There's nothing to go behind or wander with the thoughts. Become aware of your breath time and again. The breath is in the present moment. There's no need to chant any mantra. There's no need to visualize. Dhyana, meditation, is to dissolve. Is to relieve from all the religious dogmas, to let go. To reclaim the awareness of cosmic self. Breath is the only thread. Breath is on the only key to all of this awareness. Breath is a key to getting into meditative state. Meditation is to emptying your mind, silencing your mind. And meditation is to be in complete awareness. Meditation is to be aware of all the dimensions of ourselves. The physical body, the energy body, the mental body, the knowledge body, the universal body. Let us all be with the breath, my dear friends, my dear masters and my dear gods. Just for now, just for now, lose your identity. Just for now, there's nothing to judge. Just for now, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Just for now. The only realization I have is the breath. Just for now. I'm a mere witness. Just for now. I'm in complete awareness. Awareness of I am that. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Breath is the best friend. Breath is our only guru. Breath is the only traveler through this physical presence and in this physical body. Giving us all the experiences. Let us express our deepest gratitude to this wonderful friend, to this wonderful Guru and Master that is our breath. becoming one with every inhalation and every exhalation. Become completely aware of the present moment. Come back to the breath. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go. Being with the breath is to be in complete awareness. Being in the awareness of I am that I am. Being with the breath is the shortest path to awareness. Meditation is key to release ourselves from all the belief system, free ourselves from all the judgments, the rigidity, and all the limitation. Meditation is to be in awareness of our infinite self, of our cosmic self, of our unlimited self. To be aware of one in all and all in one. Let us all be with the breath, my dear friends. Final 1 minute. Let us all express our gratitude for this wonderful friend, breath, It is there in every moment, be it in the sleep, while eating, while talking, while listening, through all actions and inactions of our journey on this planet Earth, in this physical body, giving us all the experiences till this moment. Please bring your attention back to your physical layer. You can open your eyes gently as you feel comfortable. So thank you, friends, for joining us in this journey of my time and this morning meditation. Thank you all. Thank you, Sandipji, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Suresh sir. Thanks a lot. It was a wonderful meditation, very pleasant. Your voice especially was acting like an anchor to bring us back to our current moment whenever the mind wanders. So thanks a lot to you.
Thank you, Sandip.
Thank you. Welcome, friends. So today's session is about reality and personal beliefs. So Sriramgopal sir would be the one who would be sharing his wisdom on this topic with us. Welcome, Sriram sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. I would start with a brief introduction about Sriram sir, and then we can hand it over to him. So it's my great pleasure to introduce Sriramgopal sir, who is a truly multifaceted individual whose expertise spans a range of fields. Currently, Sriram sir is making significant strides as a consultant in construction, trading, organic farming, and the insurance domain. Beyond his professional endeavors, he is also the founder trustee of the Pyramid Spiritual Trust in Hyderabad, showcasing his dedication to spiritual growth and community well-being. Sriram sir's impressive career includes serving as a founder member and vice president at Tata AIG General Insurance, where his visionary leadership and innovative approaches set new benchmarks in the industry. Since 1994, Sir has embarked on a profound journey into the realm of spiritual science with a particular interest that goes far beyond meditation. His unique blend of professional acumen and spiritual insight promises to offer us a deeply enriching perspective. So friends, please join me in welcoming Sriramgopal sir for today's session. Thank you, sir. Welcome. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Sandeep, for the wonderful introduction. Good morning, all. It's great to be with you. Wonderful meditation session you are able to have. Thank you. Today, we will try to explore reality and personal beliefs through SAFE. So this is a chapter from the second book in the series of SAFE revelations given to Jane Roberts. The book is titled The Nature of Personal Reality. And this is the second chapter in that book. So we are all used to this name or this word, reality and beliefs. In our regular interactions, we can, as a meditator, understand what reality is and what beliefs are. And we are used to this statement that we create our reality. So this chapter actually
makes us understand a little more deeper into what actually the reality and personal beliefs are and how they emanate from us and form the experience and the world around us. So the next half an hour, I'll try to make ourselves understand deeper into this subject. We form the fabric of our experience through our beliefs and expectations. Please highlight this. We form the fabric of our experience through our own beliefs and expectations. These personal ideas about ourselves and the nature of reality will affect our thoughts and emotions. We take our beliefs about reality as truth, and often we do not question them. They seem very self-explanatory to us. They appear in our mind as statements, not too obvious for us to examine, because we have accepted. Therefore, while these are accepted without question, very often they are not recognized as beliefs about our own reality, but are instead considered as characteristics of our reality. They become invisible assumptions, but they nevertheless color and form our physical experience. For example, some people do not question their religious beliefs, but accept them as fact. Others find it comparatively easy to recognize such inner assumptions when they appear in religious context, but are otherwise quite blind to them in other areas. It's very simple for us to recognize our own beliefs in regard to a religion, politics, or similar subjects. It is pinpoint our deepest beliefs about ourselves and who and what we are, particularly in relationship with our own life. That means externally, whatever we see, we're able to accept and recognize. When it comes to our inner aspects, we are not able to do that. Many of us are completely blind to our own beliefs about any particular experience or event or situations, or what we call as the nature of reality. What is the actual reality that we see outside, and what the beliefs that has emanated from our inner to experience that reality, that particular connect, we are completely blind. Our own conscious thoughts will give excellent clues about this. But often we find ourselves refusing to accept these thoughts that come to our mind because they conflict with our usually accepted ideas or beliefs. So we do not accept. That becomes a kind of conflict, because inner says something, but outer we see something else. We are not able to connect these beliefs to that experience. And then what we notice is there is a conflict. And generally we tend to accept what we see outside and what we have to believe from the inside. Our conscious mind is always trying to give a clear picture. But we often, with our preconceived ideas, block this intelligence. This is why we are not able to recognize our inner beliefs and connect it with the external experience. First of all, let us say that there are no limitations or divisions to the self. When we say self, then we try to break it down into ego, inner conscious, subconscious, all these things. But this is only for our understanding. There are no divisions as such. There are no limitations to the self, nor there are any divisions to the self. But for the purpose of our discussion, generally we use the word ego, because that way make us understand the connect between the inner and the external conscious mind that operates. we can depend on the unconscious portions of ourselves. We can be more and more consciously aware, bringing into the conscious, the larger picture of the consciousness portions. There are no limitations to the self. When we say there are no limitations, it becomes infinite potential. So we can depend on this unconscious portion, because the soul, when we say, or the ego, these are all not visible, but the potential is so high that if we expand our consciousness, then we can understand the larger context of our own self. Because beliefs are in this portion. So understanding it in a larger context, or allowing it to expand, will really make us at least dip into what and how these beliefs are so important to create our reality external. We breathe, we grow and perform multiple and delicate activities. We do it very constantly. Every moment we do it. But we are not consciously aware of how you carry out such manipulations. We just do it. We live with conscious knowing of how to maintain the miracle of physical awareness in the world. Flesh and time. Seemingly unconscious portions of ourself, they draw atoms, molecules from the air to form our image. Understand this. The seemingly unconscious portions, that is our self, draws the atoms and molecules from the air to form our image. And this is being done constantly, not only at the time of birth. Our lips also move. Our tongue also speaks our name. But does the name belong to the atoms and molecules that has created our lips and tongue? We miss that point, right? The atoms and molecules, they move constantly, forming into cells, tissues and organs that we know pretty well. This tongue and lips do not read or write, and they speak complicated syllables and communicate with other beings. A simple feeling to the most complicated things are happening. And how does this happen? Atoms and molecules of the tongue do not know the syntax of our language. Look at it externally. When we begin to speak, we will not have even a slightest conscious idea of how we will end. Yet, we go by an intrinsic faith that the words will make sense and the meaning will flow out effortlessly. But this is how it happens. We speak constantly. Begin, but we do not know how to finish, but it happens. So there is an internal faith in it. This is the connect between the atoms and molecules that has formed these organs and how we express them or experience them outwardly. It happens. This is the miracle. But there is a belief internally that makes this happen. The beliefs that lie within the atoms and molecules to perform their due task. It happens automatically, whether we believe it or not. All this happens very spontaneously. It happens very joyfully, freely. All of this occurs because our inner self believes in us. Whether we believe in it or not, or the inner self, but the inner self believes in the structure, in the body, in the flesh has made to experience in time whatever it creates externally. Often we do not believe on this. the unconscious portion of our being operate amazing. It just happens. That is how we are. If you are listening to me, this is exactly what is. If I am talking to you, this is exactly what is. We may have the greatest misunderstanding, or we do not even, we have never heard about the consciousness, soul, or spirit, or external reality and all this stuff. But still, even to the layman, this happens so spontaneously, joyfully, and freely. That is how the expression of every human being happens. Every being on the planet happens. But due to this greatest misunderstanding, and part of the nature of dysfunction within us, we have strong interference externally because of the beliefs that emanate, from the external world. Each person experiences a unique reality, isn't it? Different from other individuals. Same subject, but each one has this one interpretation. This reality springs outward from the inner landscape of thoughts, from the inner feelings, from the inner expectations and beliefs. Nothing is expressed outward without the inner original thought, feel, or expectation. If we believe that the inner self works against us rather than for you or for us, then we hamper its function. Rather, we force it to behave in a certain way because of our beliefs, because there is a conflict. The conscious mind is meant to make clear judgments about our position in physical reality. Conscious mind is meant to make clear judgments about our position in physical reality. Often false beliefs will prevent it from making these, but the egotistically held ideas will cloud this vision. The ego that we have will actually cloud these beliefs. It will slightly prevent the understanding of the inner beliefs that actually forces through the conscious mind to create external. We take the external experience as the belief, and then whatever inner says, then you see a conflict. Our beliefs can be like boundaries or fences that surround us. So we must recognize the existence of such barriers. We must see them, or we will not realize that we are not free unless we see them. Because we do not see beyond the fences. That means our beliefs act as barriers. And our beliefs, unless we see beyond that, that means we travel inward and then see beyond, we will not be able to realize our full potential. And these boundaries, unfortunately, will limit our experience. There are many beliefs that are self-limiting. We all know that. That is what we call as negative. So whatever we do not like, we call it as a negative. Right? Whatever the society doesn't like, the society says that it is a negative. I think all these are limiting beliefs. So how much can one unlimit this belief? It is only when we understand that the self is not limited, that there are no boundaries or separations of the self. That means we realize the true potential of the soul or the self. And we also realize that we make our own reality. And the reality comes from our thoughts, feelings, expectations, and beliefs. So this is the only formula, this is the only magical formula which actually creates our outward experience. So to understand ourselves and what we are, we can learn to experience ourselves directly apart from our beliefs about ourselves. And this is possible only through meditation. We can understand ourselves, what we are. We can learn to experience ourselves directly without involvement of our existing beliefs about us. And this is possible only through meditation because we cut off all the beliefs. We try to travel inward. And then the larger landscape slowly, gradually opens up. And we can decipher, understand the potential of the inner. And then we can relate this to the external. This is not a difficult thing. This is exactly what this group has done about half an hour back, meditation, where we understand the existence of the self. Meditation is to try to understand the existence of the self. We recognize that. So our knowledge of this existence will help us to recognize the deep rhythms within us. Each individual, each of us, we will be able to sense these tones in our own way, in his or her own way. These are called the feelings, which exist. So the moment we close our eyes, then we see so many feelings, so many thoughts. Thoughts come in, and then we go deeper in the thoughts, then we have those feelings. So these are the feeling tones. And gradually, as we do that sadhana, the meditation, close our eyes, then we directly hit the feeling tone. The feeling tone comes out of the inner. That's what Seth was trying. We must feel these deep rhythms going out in all directions. Do it, whether we recognize this or not, whether we believe it or not. We continuously, 24 hours, all our life, this physical body in flesh and time, they electromagnetically radiate to our physical being, these deep rhythms. They form the environment that also forms our physical. Just not the external event or incident of what we see, but what we see in ourselves, see ourselves in the mirror. The physical image also gets transformed only through these deep belief patterns, these feeling tones, thoughts that keep emanating constantly into the electromagnetic which we radiate from our physical being. All this makes the reality that we see and also our own image. Self is not limited. So we can clearly say that self is not limited. It is infinite. It is unlimited. The potential, of the self. He also thinks that the self stops where our the external, the physical skin meets the space. Right? So we limit ourselves. See? The first limitation starts with our own body. We don't see ourselves beyond our skin. We don't see that beyond the skin is our environment. It's an extension of the self then. It is the body of our whole experience at that moment, whilst in physical form. Inner self forms the objects that we know as surely and automatically as it forms our finger or eye. When we can believe that, the self has created this whole body, beyond that, say that we don't believe that, but probably the ego says that I have created. Then it becomes a conflict. Environment that we are in, physical picture of our thoughts. If our thoughts are not there to attend this Zoom session or this Zoom environment that has been created, you are not in that physical, right? So this environment, for example, what we have created in the last 2 hours or so is the physical picture of our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Made visible. They're not just electromagnetic, invisible, but are made visible. Just imagine all the thoughts that we had a day back or 4-5 days back, linking it to this Zoom session, and slowly condenses further as the D time comes in, and then creating this marvelous picture. And this picture is nothing but our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. We believed in meditation. We came together on this end. This is how it happens. So from visible, invisible to the visible. So the emotions, the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, they move through the space and time and affect the physical conditions separate from us. Whether we are consciously aware of it or not, it just happens. But the belief system has from the inner has actually already thrown out. I mean, it actually sent out the signals to the environment. It happens whether we are conscious of it or not conscious of it. If you are very conscious of it, then yeah, we try to identify with this thing that I have done. But if we are not conscious of it, then we say probably it is our past karma. It's a miracle that has happened. We perceive this body as a physical, physical thing as a solid structure. Just like we perceive all physical matter. As we explore deeper, it becomes more obvious that within this object, the energy that is there actually takes the specific shape. You go deeper into understanding the object, understanding the event, then we can understand the energy that it takes to actually, create that reality. Similarly, in our own physical structure, this kind of an energy itself creates the organ cells, all such things. And these are, to start with, less physical. A very small structure like an electron. It's a physical, but it's less physical, invisible. But slowly it transforms into an organ and physical. This is a mysterious form matter. And all these things happen consciously without our conscious mind actually getting into know all these things. And it keeps going. It's the belief system within. There's a constant commotion of activity from the atoms that have formed our body. That we have is composed of swiftly moving particles. So great exchange of energy continuously happens. Space outside our body is composed of the same elements there, but in different proportions. There is a constant physical interchange between the structure we call our body and the space outside. Chemical interactions, basic exchanges without which life, as we know, would not be possible. To hold our breath is to die. Breath, which represents the most intimate and most necessary of our physical sensations, must flow out from what we are, passing into the world that seems not to be us or not to be beyond the skin we don't recognize as the expression of our own self. Physically, portions of us leave our body constantly and intermix with these elements outside. This happens to our body. For example, let's see what happens when our adrenaline rises and it is released through the bloodstream. Yes, it stirs us up and prepares us for a massive action. Other ways, the adrenaline doesn't just stay in our body. It is cast into the air and it affects the atmosphere. Though it is transformed, it gets transformed into real. It's just not the invisible chemical then. It gets out, and then what we see is there is a different creation, the transformed. So all our emotions, they liberate us. They leave us for breath, release chemicals into the air that affects the landscape. That's how mass events do happen. Just imagine 800 crore people expressing constantly like this from their inner feelings, inner chemical reactions, inner emotions, feelings, thoughts, which are, put it our breath into the word, and they coalesce. And what we see is mass events that happen around the world. Whether we recognize our beliefs, the inner beliefs, through the conscious mind, be able to connect with the reality that we have created outside. Not, irrespective of this understanding or this knowledge or the belief, this will happen by default. You create the experiences outside through the self directly. The conscious mind should be able to read this, but unfortunately we don't allow that because we are centered on the beliefs. For the ego, we feel that this is what we have done. This is I who has done it. And then we are so attached to that, what we see with the eye, and that becomes their belief, which may conflict with the ego. Because we don't realize that the external actually was created with our inner. We are a physical existence. To learn and understand that our energy translated into thoughts and emotions cause all the experience. There are no exceptions. In this physical existence, one of the tasks that we have embarked on in this life journey is to learn and understand our energy translated into feelings, thoughts, and emotions causes all the experience. There is no exception to this, whether we believe. And meditation here definitely, puts us on the track to understand ourselves. Once we understand this, it doesn't stop there. We have to examine the nature of work. Because then only these will automatically cause you to feel and think in certain fashions. So unless we examine, we do not. It's just knowing. Unless we examine, then we start to understand the energy behind it, the feel behind it, and start experiencing. Our emotions follow our beliefs. It's not the other way around. we should be able to recognize our own beliefs in several areas. Because there are multiple areas where we focus every day. But we should be able to recognize these as the beliefs, examine them with our inner fields. So then we can, truly reflect upon those beliefs and create the world in the way, not how we do it now, but more responsible. We must also realize that any idea we accept as true, any idea we accept as true is a belief that we already held. Otherwise, we don't accept it as true. Something like this. If Patriji has come to us and then said, do meditation. Okay. So we have two options. We can actually sit with him and do meditation, or say, sir, I'm busy, and then can we leave? Because we already understand that this meditation is something unique. We already held that belief much before Patriji has actually come into our life. And when he actually came into our life, we were able to accept. Yes, in similar way, there are many people who don't accept. Because it's not that Patriji has touched upon 100 people or 100 turned meditators, isn't it? Only those who held that belief already, or innately, they already had that belief, and when Patriji knocked on us, we are able to connect the belief with, actually happening that. Then it becomes a truth. And when the truth is there, when the conscious mind feels it as the truth, you must understand that the belief it's already there and it is held. You must then take the next step and say, it is not necessarily true, even though I believe. This is how we examine. Because we must examine the experiences, or we must examine these beliefs to understand them more deeply, to understand the energies behind. So it is not necessary for us to accept it as it is, but unless we take the next step to examine and start believing it wholly, then we would say this is the truth. And from the truth, our creation of reality will be absolutely, it will be very controlled. It will be how you expect it to be. That's exactly how you create your reality when you when you create more responsibly the reality that you wanted to create. Only when you can fix this with your belief, and when it becomes the truth. So the true understanding, your true understanding of the belief creates a more responsible reality, or the reality that you actually want. We also must realize that no one can change our beliefs, or they can be forced upon us without our acceptance. We can indeed change them for ourselves, however, with knowledge and application. That's exactly what we talked just before. Doing and examining, yeah, we can change the belief. Somebody telling us, yes, you can change the belief, but until you accept what the other person says, this may not. Also look at ourselves. The entire physical environment that we have materialized all through our life is nothing but the materialization of our beliefs. Sense of joy, sorrow, illness, whatever. All these are all caused by our own beliefs. you believe that a given situation should make us happy or unhappy, then it will. Say the given situation makes you unhappy, then you reinforce the condition of unhappiness. That's how the manifestation happens. So within us, we have the ability to change our ideas about reality and about ourselves and create a personal living experience that is fulfilling to ourselves and also to the others connected in our environment. Understand this important thing, that when we realize the belief and when we examine the belief and take it into our experience and make it as the truth to which your conscious mind, the ego, and the inner can sink, then the world that we create, the materialization that happens out of that belief, is completely sensed by the inner and the outer, perfect sync, and that reality is how and what you desire. That's power. Friends, this is how our reality and personal beliefs go hand in hand. Our conscious beliefs direct the functioning of our inner self adopts the physical and conscious. The physically focused mind as a method of allowing to manipulate the world around. The conscious mind is equipped to direct outward, equipped to direct the outward activity, handle the waking experience, oversee the physical. So it's beliefs about the nature of reality that is outward, then given to the inner portions of the self. This mainly is relied on the conscious mind's interpretation of the reality. So the conscious mind sets the goals and the inner self brings them about, using all its facilities, the extensive potential that the self has. So the great value of the conscious mind lies in its ability to make decisions and set directions. It assesses the conditions, both inside and outside, to handle the data that comes from inside and the external. Form the inner portions of the self. So you can see the connect between the conscious mind and the inner portion. So it's a two-way traffic. So when we can understand this, when we strongly, truthfully believe it, then we create a world well in our understanding, well in our knowledge, well in our experience, and the reality. So friends, say each chapter in these 10 safe books that are culminating into roughly about 200 plus chapters like this, chapters of understanding, chapters of deeper knowledge into the deep mechanics of how beyond, or rather we say inwardly beyond, nature of the soul, potential of the soul, potential energies, which actually make what we call the nature of personal reality. Because this personal reality that the individual is, how he actually plays his part in the world, create this magnificent experience on this planet. For everyone, not just the individual, but all the beings. This is very intricate subject. And the deeper we go into these subjects, then we understand much better, as these understandings, create the kind of experiences that happen with understanding. Then normally, we try to elevate or expand our conscious understanding about this particular thing, or the entire system itself. And this is exactly where meditation plays a very key role. Friends, this is what I have to speak about beliefs and reality as today's topic. A great opportunity for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for sharing this great wisdom on Seth. I personally have learned a lot about emotions, feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and how the whole energy changes and how our thoughts and emotions drive our reality, beliefs drive our reality. Thanks a lot for this, sir. I have one question, so that I'll start with questions and then we can take other questions after this. You also mentioned about limiting beliefs, and we see in the society too that society imposes certain beliefs on ourselves. Say you can do this, you can't do that, especially on children. Say if someone has been brought up with such beliefs, and you also spoke about examining those beliefs, and if they're not serving us. I know meditation is one tool to come out of them, but do you have any other actionable steps for such cases?
Yeah, in this chapter itself, Seth has given a technique which is similar to the meditation, but it specifically tells us not to take that word as meditation. He just asks us to close our eyes and then dip into ourselves. Immediate feelings that you are able to recognize within yourself are the feeling tones at that moment. So feeling tones, they come out of the emotions. And deeper into it, the emotion has a thought. So coming in the reverse. So he gives this small technique. He doesn't say this is meditation. In fact, he says not to use the word meditation for this.
Okay.
Just, meditation, we say Chittavritti Nirodha Yoga, right? That means cessation of all thoughts. So probably for that reason, he says that don't use that word meditation. Just close your eyes and then dip into yourself. Then you will be able to recognize certain feeling tones. So those feeling tones are your beliefs at that moment of time. And because this keeps constantly changing situations around us. So this is one technique, he says. So because we are all seasoned people in meditation, I feel that probably we do not need to go into that. Because Seth probably was saying to an American audience way back in the 60s, where probably, except for transcendental meditation, not many knew about meditation at all.
Yes, correct.
So probably he would have said that. And especially it draws from the background, let us say a Christian background, because the meditation is not there. So at the moment he says meditation, then, it may put off people saying that it is a Hindu practice or something. So probably that's the reason why it was specifically mentioned that not to, think this is a meditation, but just dip into yourself, just catch hold of the immediate feelings.
So that feeling has
meditation. Obviously, the moment we close our eyes and start observing the breath, this is what we also see.
Fair enough. Yeah. So in a way, we are doing that anyway.
Yes. Okay. So that technique should be wonderful for us.
Correct. Okay. So thank you. Thanks a lot. Friends, if any of you have questions, please go ahead. You can raise your hand and ask the questions, or put them in the chat and I can ask those questions on your behalf.
I know this is
Namaskar.
quite an absorbing topic.
Yes, sir. Wonderful message and wonderful knowledge sharing. Thank you, Sriramji, for coming over and then
Namaste, Suresh.
because Sid and the topic itself is so mesmerizing, right? So we get completely immersed into these things, and it's unlimited exploration. That's what I can say. My own experience, yeah. So wonderful, and of course, unless the reader or the master who is exploring, has to get completely immersed into it. It's not easy reading over and over again or understanding it, contemplating on it. Every time it opens up new dimensions of understanding. That's what I can say.
Suresh, that's exactly what Seth also says.
Yeah,
So the moment we realize the belief and then we examine it, then it becomes our truth. So
absolutely.
the moment it becomes the truth, then the reality that we are creating outside is different from what we have created few moments ago.
Yeah,
So it's a never constant, it's a constant, that's what he said, it's a gestalt of energy. It keeps happening joyfully, continuously, constantly, whether we agree to it, whether we believe it or not.
yeah. It's a continuous and it's a
Yes,
continuity, I would say.
absolutely.
Absolutely. A wonderful topic. Just for the benefit of my understanding, or even for all the participants, I had one question which just spontaneously came into my mind is, how do you see these words? What occurs to your mind when I talk about these words like thoughts and emotions? So, like, what is that thin gap between thoughts and emotions, or what is there from the time the thought occurs, or the emotions, or the creation that happens? And so, what do you see? Can you just throw a bit more light on
Yes, yes,
the two
yes.
words, thoughts and emotions?
See, the moment let us take, just a couple of minutes ago, we were talking about, Sandeep has asked, is there any other technique other than meditation? Let us say meditation alone. And we have related what said in the same chapter that we have discussed. The moment we close our eyes and then we start thinking about exploring, thinking, it's again a thought. First thing that comes out is something, some feeling comes out. Related to us, related to external, related to a tree, whatever it could be. So that is the feeling tone. It says that is a feeling tone. So the feeling tones, where did this feeling tone start? Somewhere there should be a start. So the feelings tones tone has started from a belief, which we did not recognize, which we do not know. It is there in ourselves. We're not going to then, where did the feeling tone come? Where did that belief come? Then we say past lives, this, that, or sum total of our unconscious experiences already lying stored in the self. So let us not get into that. But the moment we, that feeling tone comes, then from the feeling tone, you will get your light kind of an emotion starts. That means it is getting energized.
Okay.
So the moment we focus on that feeling tone,
Yeah.
then it opens up. So that means the focus is happening through our ego, or conscious mind rather. So the moment we focus, then it starts opening up. So when it starts opening up, that is what we call as emotion. That is, it is an emotion. The electromagnetic motion is set into action.
Wonderful.
From there, till we realize the truth, the truthful belief, our conscious mind from the external, what it has absorbed as belief, it checks up where it is. Earlier cast in the conscious mind, the belief, and then tries to relate this. The moment it sinks, then the thought comes out. Thought in relation to what the conscious mind wants to do with it. Then only the thought frames up, you see.
Okay.
Because the feeling tone, if it is with Sandeep, if it is with Suresh and Sriram, the same feeling tone, but my eventual action, which should emanate from my thought, can vary or will vary because each of us has our own, conscious mind that interprets the reality that is already there. So then you see that feeling tones, emotions, and thoughts. And then thoughts gets into action, that is, as in today's topic also, we had a brief about it, where we constantly radiate these electromagnetic waves outside.
Yes, sir.
Our thoughts are also electromagnetic. And they create a world in which we want to experience. So that's how we thought, from the thoughts we get into. So primary, the feeling tones, which already have a belief system there, and then the feeling tones start.
Yeah.
And the actions and the thoughts.
Wonderful, sir. So thank you for this great clarity, and definitely I got much more clear on what this connectivity is all about, right? In terms of where the feeling tone starts, and then how is it correlate with the emotions that we carry based on the past experience or the belief system, and how is it becoming
And we can always change, Suresh, we can always change this pattern.
Yeah.
So this is exactly where many of my, friends ask me, sir, then what about karma and all? So I say, this is
choices with us.
they say karma. If you say, I'm only fixed with this karma past, then that is karma. You want to live with that. But if I believe that I can change this, as we discussed in this topic today,
Yes,
then we change that karma also.
absolutely. Yeah, we have the choice of what we do with the current
Absolutely.
the situation or the thought, feeling, or
Yes.
belief system. So whether we call that as a pain as an experience, or pain as a suffering, or pain as a enjoyment, so we flag it, right? So the flagging is in our control, is what you're saying. That so how do you flag it, and that decides or depicts the further cementing of upcoming belief system or our experience going forward.
Very true.
Wonderful, sir. So this really, it's not easy for everyone to follow, though. I'm not sure how other masters are following, but this is very thought-provoking and very, I would say a very adventurous journey, particularly the Seth topic, right?
Yes. I truly encourage all the participants here to start with at least Seth Speaks.
Absolutely.
I mean, it may the size of the book may put us off. But nevertheless, just start flipping the pages. Then I don't think we will stop with 1 hour reading.
Absolutely.
It's so absorbing. It slowly opens the inner of us. It's really spiritual science that we are talking. Again, today, meditation, I personally feel meditation is like your Simhadwar, a huge mansion, beautiful mansion. Meditation is the technique where I have opened the door and then I have gone inside. So what do I see? Why should I stop only at meditation? Step further, understand the mechanics of it. Okay, even if I don't understand the mechanics, do happen. So that is exactly where the Seth Speaks. These volumes of pain will actually to understand the deeper mechanics of what our true self. So it's worth looking at it for those, spiritual scientists, I would say.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Over to Sandeep.
Thank you, Suresh sir. Thanks for adding your wisdom and words to it too. I particularly liked about how you said pain as a suffering versus experience. And I think that changes the whole narrative of if it is karma or if it is how we look at it changes the whole scenario. And I think we got a very similar connected question here, sir. I'll just read it out. Bala is asking, Seth says he doesn't believe karma theory. Can you explain? He says everything occurs at the same time in multidimensional level.
So, Seth says it is, life is multidimensional. Seth says that we are not just one self, we are multiple selves, all interconnected. This is this one word, multidimensional, right? And that whole explanation, I think we need to have one more session.
Okay, sir. Yes, yes, yes. I could observe that these are
Take at least 1 hour.
deep-
I think in one of the I don't remember this particular sessions or stream of sessions are somewhere else.
Yeah,
A year back, it was almost like a 2-hour session that went into understanding what this multidimensional is, how multidimensional selves are there, multidimensional personalities are there, how we are interconnected. All these things is a larger subject, Bala. I think probably, I think if time is there, I think we can delve into it or one-to-one. I think that would be better. In the sense that it will take time, 1 hour at least we require.
okay, sure, sir. Yes. We can plan another session on this
Yeah,
topic.
that's better. Probably
Sure.
next session, if it is possible, we can
Sure.
definitely look at this. This is very interesting one, I'll tell you. Believe me, this is really, really interesting. It really surprises.
Sure, sir. I'll talk to Sunil ji and then we can plan something for this. I can also see Swarnalata ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to add some of your words to this topic, please?
Sir,
Namaste, madam.
sir, namaste. Thank you very much. Really, we are waiting, at least, to hear you, not only you, to hear higher knowledge. It will happen sometimes, but at least we request you once in a month, you please give your session. Thank you very much for your elaborate explanation and
Sure.
everything, everything.
But only things, my request, Swarnalata and Sandeep is,
Uh,
half an hour won't be sufficient for one chapter.
yes, no, at least
You
one
need to do
hour
at least
or
1.5 hour is required.
Yes,
Fair
1.5
enough.
hour is required. We will
Otherwise,
plan
it
that.
is like a Prezi writing for me.
Yes,
Not able to probably, I mean, what needs to be
convey.
conveyed
Yes,
Yeah.
may not be, due to some time constraint.
we'll make it as 1 hour or 1.5 hour because it is also not sufficient for us. It is just like having the smell of some tea and going.
Because once we understand the topic or go through the
Yes.
topic, it's always better that we give live examples of ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and then try to relate this understanding that we had now with already experienced belief or an event or a thing, and try to connect them, which gives a lasting and I would say it becomes a truth then.
Yes,
The belief becomes a truth.
a profound truth.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Next time we'll plan like that.
Yeah.
Thank
Sure,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Friends, do you have any more questions? I think there is a suggestion, sir. The suggestion is they want slides
Why not?
for the next presentation. Yeah.
Definitely, I can, Bala. And I also, because there's a second questions coming from you, very important questions. I would encourage you to, if you have not read any of the Seth books, start with Seth Speaks
Start it says Speaks by Jane Roberts, right?
by Jane Roberts.
Yeah.
It will take at least
I think
6 to
Bala is
7 months, 6 to 7 months, Bala, to go through it. Then you will have your own slides of your understanding. But nevertheless, I think next time on Sandeep, the
Sure,
next
sir.
book, I will prepare the slides.
Thank you, sir. And I think, yeah, I'll talk to Sunilji and see if we can have a longer session maybe on the weekend, because people have more time over the weekend. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot for your wisdom. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you, sir. And I would also like to thank IFSS and PSSM Global. These organizations have made this session possible. We have had wonderful speakers throughout the last 2 weeks, and we still have 18 more days to go. So yeah, we are thankful to IFSS and PSSM Global for having these sessions. Thank you, sir. Thanks again, and see you all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.